Hey, Kellen, thanks for being on.
Thanks. I'm happy to be here.
Now, I know you super well, obviously, over the years, but tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am a single mom and I run my own company. So I'm a very, very busy person. I have lots of clients and stuff. And I'm 54. So I'm just on the end. I'm officially into the menopause time of my life. I was an athlete for most of my life until I wasn't. And that's when the troubles began.
Oh,
Um, And yeah, I'm not sure what else you want
cool.
to know.
No,
Those
that's
are kind of the basic
perfect.
stats.
Yeah, let's get right into it. Let's talk about the 12 weeks in the Simply Strong method and where were you before starting those 12 weeks with me?
In a world of pain,
Oh,
frustration, inflammation, overweight, and just feeling really frustrated with my body, actually, and like not being able to do the things that I used to be able to do. And because for me, because of that hormone transition, I put on a lot of weight really quickly. And it was just difficult to figure out why that was happening.
mm.
And yeah, that's really what had me be like, I need help. I need a new variable to come into my life to help me reset here.
And were you trying things like what was frustrating for you before you decided to join?
Well, again, my body wasn't able to do the
Yeah,
things that it used to be able to do. I was experiencing body pain. Like my knees were
right.
always aching and my hips were aching. I wasn't sleeping very well. I was getting more and more rosacea in my face. I just could tell that my body was not functioning well, but I didn't know because I've always been a person who loves to move.
Yeah.
Um, so I was like, well, I can't move anymore. I'm already moving almost
Yeah.
every day. I can't move anymore. I think my food's okay, but I just felt like really confused as to what was going to shift things.
What to do. Yeah. And that's the one thing, it's true. Sometimes people have a hard time with the exercise side of things and just like implementing that new routine, but that was not your case. You are
Oh,
definitely a mover and an exerciser. If anything, sometimes it's about reining you back a little bit.
yeah. Yeah, but I think I would say one of the biggest things was really discovering, and part of the Simply Strong method was really discovering what macros were.
Right.
And what even just that knowledge of there's calories, which that's one thing, but actually looking at the balance of where those calories are coming from and which types of calories or macros are fueling my muscle, which
Yes.
then fuels my metabolism, which that and my hormones and all sorts of things, my brain, and which were not.
Yeah.
So that was the first really super interesting thing about the program. I remember being really like geeky about it, and I just felt so much relief when you were like, okay, well, here's some guidelines that we could start with in terms of what balancing your macros. That was maybe the first time in my whole life that I'd even learned about that piece of it, and that was really huge for me.
That's so cool. And it just like it makes me so proud when I hear words like fueling my muscle as opposed to yes, like we have to look at the calories, we have to look at a calorie deficit in order to lose body fat. But how can we use those calories to really nourish our body as opposed to thinking of deprivation?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And just like everything I was reading everywhere was just like you need muscle if you want to live a long time
Yeah.
and have a good quality of life. And people are like, "Oh, I think you said this actually." There's a lot of like, "Oh, I'm training for my summer beach body." And you're like, "No, I'm training for my old lady body." I want to be like
Exactly.
90 and like walking and lifting and like living independently and
Yeah.
reducing my risk of falls and things like that. And that was really motivating for me because I had my kid late.
Mhm.
So, at 54, I have a 10-year-old. So, by the time she graduates high school, I'll be retiring. Um, so that's a motivating factor for me. I want to be strong and live a long time. And I know muscle was the key to that. And even though I knew some things about lifting and strength training because I'd worked with you before, but it was that protein piece, which is one of the
Yeah.
most important macros that was a game changer for me.
Yeah, I love that. And that's really what it is all about. It's not just about like this 12 weeks and you're done. It's about really taking the time to learn what can stay with you long term
Yeah.
for as long as you forever, really.
And it was simple.
Yeah.
so much complexity out there, especially
Love
in this
that.
day and age of the Instagram influencers. And you're like, oh, I'll try this, I'll try that. It's so confusing. But like going in, it was just super simple. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
This is the balance. Here's your workouts. Let's just do this consistently, these simple changes consistently, and then you'll get that result. And so that was really exciting just to have some simplicity in all the complexity.
Yeah, I love that. Simplicity is definitely something that I'm always seeking. And yeah, as soon as something feels a little complicated, I'm like, how can we simplify this? Because I think so
Yes.
many things they are, and the noise of social media can really confuse people. Like, oh, now I need that supplement, or I need this, or I need that, and really, it's getting those basics
or
right is
or
simple.
I'm in this part of my life and therefore things have to be
Yeah,
different, or I'm in perimenopause,
yeah,
or I've got PCOS, or I've got this, or I've got that. And the truth is, what I learned from you is it doesn't matter. The basic principles
yeah,
apply no matter what stage or age you're at, no matter what you're doing in your life. There may be some tiny tweaks.
yes.
For the most part, those fundamental pillars are the same. And that was really kind of reassuring as well.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like the fundamentals are the same. And then if you do have like a situation that's happening, then you can add on top of it like strategies. And there's really great health hacks and things that you can do. But if that base isn't there and solid, then you're not really adding. I always say it's like eating fast food and then having your vitamins and hoping that they work, right? Like you have to help these things to work. And so those basics are really important.
But aside from like the method, one of the best things about working with you is that there's zero judgment.
Oh, thank you.
That's what I love. I always felt like no matter how I showed up or whatever I was struggling with or whatever anxiety was coming up or frustration, whatever, you just make everything just so like, yeah, okay, cool. Let's just handle that. Like it
Yeah.
was so grounding and
Yeah.
so reassuring and relaxing. And that's why, yeah, I only use your method now.
Oh, I appreciate that. And the thing is that's real life. Like so often women are looking for like that perfect time period where nothing's happening. Like, there's no birthdays, there's no vacations, there's no like a hard phase that you're going to. At this phase of life, we get into like aging parents and all sorts of scenarios and kids moving out of the house and things that can be really challenging. And yet, there's never like this 3 month period where you're not going to have that. And so I really love that those are the times where I feel like you need a coach as to how do I stay healthy and give myself all the best that I need for me during those times. And then
Yeah,
the
I think
easy
there's
times you get like a turbo boost, right? Like it's nice when it's
think
easy.
it's problematic to think of things as like, oh, this is the 12-week program that's going to
Yeah.
do. It's more like this is me getting literate in and consistent
Yes.
with
Yeah.
the
It's more like a
habits.
course.
Yeah, the habits I need for the rest of my life. It's
Yeah.
not like like that 45 hard.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
365 sustainable,
Yes, exactly.
or whatever.
Exactly. So let's talk about your results. What were some specific results that you experienced?
Well, just I'm going to talk about psychological and physical. So
Sure.
psychological, massive relief because it was just simple, easy to follow, and systematic. So that was huge because I think left on my own, I tend to overcomplicate and then, get a lot of information in and then I get into the state of confusion and overwhelm and that doesn't help things. So that was the first thing psychologically. I was like, okay, just do
Right.
what she says.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that was great. Physically, I dropped 2 dress sizes, um, and that was, obviously great.
Yeah. That always feels good. Like the
Yeah,
physical's okay too, right? Like,
yeah. And energy and inflammation started to drop as well. So that was really great as well. Just to see myself starting to, I mean, I have vanity. I
yeah, we
want it to
all
look
do.
good. So like fitting
Yeah.
into clothes again and having my clothes feel better was really motivating for me. But also knowing that I was getting stronger and that
Yeah.
every week I was, setting up these habits for longevity. That was really exciting.
I love that. I love that you touched on both of them because I think some like at this age too, we put such an emphasis on health. I do. Like that's the reason I train, the reason I do everything is for health and vitality and energy. But there's also no shame in wanting to look our best and feel great
Yeah.
in our clothes. And that's okay too. Because sometimes I think we swing so far the other way that we don't value like that part. There's nothing better than looking in the mirror and going, "Oh, I feel great."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. What's life like now? Like how did it maybe impact different areas of your life?
Well, functionally, little things like noticing that it's easy because I've got a lot of stairs to get into my house. So, just noticing that now I'm carrying all of my groceries in my
Love it.
hands and my
Yeah.
keys, and I'm able to get the
Awesome.
door open and get up the stairs and bring it all the way to the kitchen without. So, there's like a lot of functional things that
Yeah.
are just easier for me. Or, for example, lifting my laundry from downstairs and bringing it all the way up the stairs, and that's no problem now. I was just saying this morning, oh my God, like this is light.
Love
So
it.
functionally, that was huge.
Yeah.
And I've been, like I said, I was an athlete before, so I've always struggled with my knee pain.
Yeah.
That also started to vastly reduce. So then I was able to move more
Huge.
and do things more with more enjoyment. And then what else? I think it's just really helped me shift. Again, I keep going back to the psychology. I know that the physical transformation is important,
Yeah.
but the psychological
Yeah.
transformation
Love that.
that has been one of my problems my whole life is
Yeah.
in my head and not figuring it out. And that simplicity again of just the basic building blocks, just keep following those consistent building blocks. That's been the biggest thing because it just allows me to relax a little bit, which is
Yeah. Actually, you're the one that taught me this saying, and I use it all the time. Is like through structure comes freedom.
right.
You just use it more through
Yes.
business, and I use it and I apply it to health. But I say that all the time is sometimes we feel things structure is like structure actually makes you relax once you
Yes.
know once you're clear on what to do.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I love about the program is that there's
Mhm.
structure with your movement, there's structure with your food,
Yeah.
there's structure within the community, there's, access to
Yeah.
you so when things are, unclear, you can say, "Hey, what's going on?" and then you're like, "Okay, here's what you
Agree.
need to do." So I like that different layers of simple structure and support, so that you're just not left on your own winging it. It
Yeah,
never goes well.
that's why it's important to me to put into into the program that my clients can message me every single day. Like there's no limit to how often, because again, sometimes the tiniest thing can make such a big difference on a day that maybe you feel overwhelmed or you're just unsure about what to do.
Oh, and the workouts. So the
Yeah, totally.
videos
Yeah,
that go with the workouts, because sometimes, even though I have worked out for years, sometimes
yeah.
I forget or there's a new one that you add.
Oh,
And then I would click on it and I'd be like, oh, I should message her and ask her how to do this. And then I'm like, oh no, there's a video. So I
yeah,
just watch, literally, I'm in the middle of the
fantastic.
gym watching your video. Oh yeah. And then putting my phone away and then
Yeah.
doing the exercise. So I found that super,
Oh,
super
good.
helpful as well because you're demonstrating what the form looks like and then I can do the exercise.
I love
But
that.
that was one thing I really liked.
Okay, cool. And I'm such a stickler for form as well because not only does it keep you safe and hopefully injury free by following the proper form, but also you might as well get the best results you can out of the time that you're going to put into it.
Yeah, right. And that's the other thing, actually. I'm going to add that. The
Yeah.
workouts are short. I think before growing up in the 80s, it's
Yeah.
like you think that you have to do all this chronic cardio and it's not
That's
a
right.
workout unless it lasts 2 hours. And I remember the first time you introduced that idea to me of like, oh no, we can get in and out in 30 minutes or
Yeah.
less even. And
Yeah.
all you need is a mat and maybe a kettlebell. And I was like, huh? And I remember doing your workouts and thinking, wow, that was like 25 minutes and I am done. Like
Amazing.
I feel like that was an awesome workout, but it was such a short amount of time and a small amount of space that it was
Yeah.
again really simple and really easy to execute no matter where I was, if I was traveling or at home or whatever.
Yeah. Love that.
Yeah.
So what would you say to women in their 40s and 50s that are feeling stuck? Because I do hear that a lot. Like I'm trying everything, I'm eating well, I'm doing all the things, and yet like it's just not shifting.
You need a new variable. It's the scientific method. If you keep doing what you've always been doing, you're going to keep getting the same result.
Mhm.
So first of all, you got to throw something new in there, I would recommend that they work with you. Period.
Thank
As
you.
you know, I'm a stickler for. I am in the coaching industry. I have been my whole life, 30 years of working with coaches and transformation leaders in all aspects. And you're the best. I tell you this all
Oh,
the time,
thank
but
you.
if you want a new variable, you need the Simply Strong program and you need to work with Rosa specifically because of how you are with people, because of your experience, but also because of this really simple, sustainable method you've put together that just literally brings so much relief. So much relief. And to this day, I won't ever work with anybody else.
Oh, I love
You've spoiled
that.
me because I have tried, and then I'm always back to like, no, I'm going back to Rosa's method
Yeah.
because it's the easiest to implement, it's the simplest to follow, and it gets results when you stick to it. So that's what
Oh,
I'd say.
I love that. What would you say? You've touched a bit on it, but what would you say to like that woman that's like she knows about Simply Strong method, she knows it exists, but she's just like a little bit on the fence about joining?
Well, I mean, it depends on why they're on the person's on the
Yeah.
fence. If it has to do with money, there is no better investment. I think about like how much money you would spend or lose because you're sick or injured. Um, you know, like your health, first of all, is the best investment. And
Yeah.
so this is a great way to take care of that piece. And the other piece is like, again, what I said before, what you're doing is not working. So you have to put something fresh in and try this. If you're looking for something that's simple and relaxing but gets results, this is what you want to try. You have nothing to lose except for all the anxiety that is and frustration that's keeping you from the body that you deserve to have.
Yeah. Ooh, great ending. I love that. The body you deserve to have. Kellen, thank you. You know, I always say this, but I never take it lightly when someone trusts me with this process because I know so often when women come to me, they've already tried other things. And to make that decision, it's not just financial, but the time and the idea of maybe one more thing that isn't going to work. Like I understand that psychology, so I understand how difficult that decision can be. So I never take that lightly. I'm so grateful that you trusted me.
Mhm.
I knew it would work for you, and I'm so glad that it did. And it's just always so wonderful working with you. And I love that we share this journey together. It really is
Yeah.
ends up being a journey together.
And I'll end with that one piece is that I have seen, you work with your clients over the years, and I've had the
Yeah.
great privilege of having you mentor and coach me. And that piece you just said a minute ago is what makes you so great is that you believe. You're like, it's going to work for you.
Yeah.
And like just being, because sometimes we just don't think it's going to work. And like you
Yeah.
hold that space of like, no, this is going to work for you. That encouragement
Yeah.
has really been a game changer.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Thank you, Kellen. Thanks so much for
Pleasure.
your time. Okay. Talk to you soon.